Get ready to dive into stories that go beyond the ordinary. I created this channel to challenge your imagination and give you a front row seat to compelling, advanced narratives. To keep these stories coming, please subscribe, like, and share with others who love this great story. Before we start, thank you to Marshall Aquilino for the support. Title: Entering the Divine City.
The chain mission is the task to qualify for entering the Divine City, and the entire chain mission consists of 4 parts. The first chain mission's purpose is not to determine the qualification to enter the Divine City but to confirm the cultivator's aptitude. Based on the evaluation of the mission completion, the cultivator's aptitude can be roughly determined, and the difficulty of the second chain mission can also be set. Only when the first chain mission is completed perfectly will the second chain mission trigger the highest difficulty. If the second chain mission is also completed perfectly, the cultivator will be directly granted the qualification to enter the Divine City and simultaneously be given beginner-level permissions. If the first chain mission does not reach a perfect level, it indicates that the aptitude is average or the luck is not good, and it is impossible to achieve a perfect state. Naturally, the difficulty of the second chain mission will not be very high, and it is even less likely to directly obtain the qualification to enter the Divine City. The cultivator will need to complete the third chain mission. If they perform well in this mission, they can also obtain the qualification to enter the Divine City, but they will not have beginner-level permissions. Without even beginner-level permissions, their status in the Divine City will be the lowest, and they will need to climb up bit by bit. If the performance in the third chain mission is also average, the Human Emperor Network will give one last chance, which is the fourth chain mission. If they perform well in this mission, they can also obtain the qualification to enter the Divine City, but the number of people who can hold out until the fourth chain mission is very few. The 4 chain missions are a step-by-step selection process, continuously eliminating unqualified individuals. In the end, very few people qualify to enter the Divine City. Among them, people like Lin Moyu belong to the top geniuses, who are early on identified as the seeds of the human race. Those who complete the third chain mission and enter the Divine City are defined as having decent aptitude and can be cultivated. They might soar to great heights one day. As for those who enter the Divine City after completing the fourth chain mission, they are given the last bit of hope. In case the Human Emperor Network misjudged, they might be late bloomers, trying not to miss any genius. The entire system seems simple but is actually very complex. Everything is managed and completed by the Human Emperor Network, which has selected a large number of geniuses for the human race. Since the establishment of the Human Emperor Network, the human race has been thriving. As long as there is real talent, it will not be missed, avoiding many human preferences and other factors. After Zhu Tian's explanation and his own thinking, Lin Moyu finally understood. Through such a rigorous selection system, one can infer some situations in the Divine City. The hierarchy in the Divine City is even stricter than in the Great World. This is also unavoidable. The human race needs to select the best of the best, choosing the most talented individuals from countless cultivators. If they can cultivate one being of the other shore, it is better than cultivating thousands of god sovereigns. If a sacred lord appears, it is better than 10 ordinary beings of the other shore. The human race needs the strongest, not a large number of mediocre individuals. This is true for any race, without exception. Those races that wanted everyone to be strong were eliminated in the long river of time long ago. The great world is cruel. Once a mistake is made, there is only adding insult to injury, no helping hand in the snow. Every decision made by the high-level human race often concerns the survival of billions of ordinary people. Past mistakes cannot be repeated. The warship flew farther and farther, and Lin Moyu, immersed in a sea of information, was once again awakened. He felt that the warship seemed to have reached a special area. The aura of the great world became more intense, and the aura of the laws was extremely strong and obvious. Comprehending the laws here would be easier than in other places. The soul of the other shore realm instinctively opened its eyes, and Lin Moyu saw strands of laws, which were much thicker than in other places. Even high-level life star systems would not have such obvious laws. This is a holy land for cultivation. Lin Moyu thought to himself and looked at Zhu Tian, Domain Lord, where are we? Zhu Tian did not hide anything and waved his hand, put the information aside and come over for a cup of tea. Lin Moyu complied, went over, and poured tea for Zhu Tian. Zhu Tian said, "We have reached the edge of the Divine City." The edge of the Divine City? Lin Moyu looked out through the warship, seeing a grayish area with nothing visible. Zhu Tian said, "The preliminaries of the 4-star domain competition have already begun. You seed contestants do not need to participate in the preliminaries, but you cannot waste this time either. We have found a place for you at the edge of the Divine City to rest. You people can meet each other, get familiar, and perhaps you will become life and death comrades in the future. Lin Moyu asked, will people from the other 3 star domains come too? Zhu Tian smiled slightly, they will come. Besides people from the other 3 star domains, there will also be cultivators from the Divine City and the War God Hall. Divine City cultivators? Lin Moyu was slightly puzzled. Isn't the 4 star domain competition a competition among the cultivators of the Vermilion Bird, White Tiger, Azure Dragon, and Black Tortoise star domains? The purpose is to obtain a place to enter the Divine City. Why would people from the Divine City come? They were originally from the Divine City, the pride of the heavens, and had no need to join in the fun. Zhu Tian laughed, there is also competition in the Divine City, with different levels. If they can achieve good results in the 4 star domain competition, it will benefit them. You don't have to worry about fairness. They will not take up the places to enter the Divine City. Just like you have already obtained the qualification to enter the Divine City, so you will not take up a place. It turned out there were such rules. Lin Moyu had not known this before. The 4 star domain competition had a large number of participants, thousands upon thousands. In the end, only 100 places to enter the Divine City were available. For people like Lin Moyu, who already had the qualification to enter the Divine City, even if they won first place, they would not take up another place. Instead, the 101st contestant would be directly admitted to the Divine City. The same applied to people from the War God Hall. They also did not take up places. So although there were only 100 places, in each session, about 130 people might actually be admitted. In such a large-scale competition, those who reached the top 130 were all excellent talents. Lin Moyu still did not know the specific rules of the 4 star domain competition, but there was no need to worry, he would soon find out. Zhu Tian drank his tea, looked outside the warship, and softly said 2 words. We're here. With the final jump, the warship stopped steadily. The mist cleared, revealing a void. In the distance, endless starlight shone, indicating a very prosperous star domain. The star domain was at the edge of the Divine City and had no name. In sight, there was an extremely large continent. It was not a planet but a circular continent. The continent had a diameter of over 1,000,000 kilometers, with mountains, rivers, oceans, and grasslands. All the scenery that should be on a planet could be seen here. Lin Moyu felt that this continent was like a planet, forcibly transformed into this shape. Destroying a star was not difficult, any god king could do it. But transforming a continent, even violating the established laws of the great world, was extremely difficult. Such power was unimaginable. At least a god sovereign could not do it. Zhu Tian said, this is the power of the other shore. Originally, this was a star, transformed into a continent by a powerful being of the other shore. As the warship approached the continent, Lin Moyu clearly felt a vast power enveloping the entire land. This was the power of a being in the other shore realm, a presence Lin Moyu could not yet comprehend. The continent was surrounded by mountains, and within the mountains lay an ocean. From a distance, it could be seen as a lake floating in the starry sky. Upon entering the continent, one would realize it was actually a vast ocean. The ocean was expansive, with clear waves, and numerous islands dotted its surface. Some islands were small, spanning a few thousand miles, while others were large, covering tens of thousands of miles. Some islands were covered with forests and trees, while others were grasslands where various animals roamed freely. At the center of the ocean, which was also the center of the entire continent, a giant island floated. This island had a diameter of over hundreds of thousands of miles, occupying nearly a quarter of the ocean, making it the largest of all the islands. The warship stopped above this giant island, and Zhu Tian led Lin Moyu out of the warship, descending towards the center of the island. As they descended, Lin Moyu observed the island. The terrain was flat, with many green grasses and lakes. The island was filled with numerous large, ancient houses, resembling palaces. The entire island exuded an ethereal aura, making it feel like a fairyland. As they got closer, Lin Moyu sensed powerful auras. Each aura represented a genius, and there were already many people here. Using his strong soul-sensing ability, Lin Moyu quickly counted the total number of people. There are 89 people in total, the weakest being a first-rank god king, and the strongest a minor god sovereign. Ah, they are here too. Lin Moyu sensed a few familiar auras among them and couldn't help but smile. Zhu Tian led Lin Moyu straight into one of the palaces. The layout of the palace was somewhat similar to the mission center, with several mission platforms. As soon as they entered, a young woman greeted them. The woman clearly recognized Zhu Tian, Domain Lord. Is this the candidate you recommended? As she spoke, she looked at Lin Moyu beside Zhu Tian, smiling. She had a pair of lively, mischievous eyes. When Lin Moyu saw her, he felt that her demeanor and temperament were somewhat similar to Ning Yi, and he couldn't help but look at her a few more times. The woman frowned slightly but didn't show any displeasure, maintaining her smile. Zhu Tian said, "Yes, the next steps are up to you." "All right, no problem," the woman responded respectfully. She then bowed to Lin Moyu. "Please follow me, sir. We need to register first." Zhu Tian waved his hand. "Go ahead. If you have any questions, you can ask Xiaoming. She will tell you everything. Get familiar with everyone in the coming days." Lin Moyu bowed to Zhu Tian. "Understood, senior." As Zhu Tian left, the woman named Xiaoming couldn't help but breathe a sigh of relief. Facing a peak god sovereign like Zhu Tian, she was naturally a bit nervous. In fact, most god kings, even minor god sovereigns, would feel nervous in front of Zhu Tian. Even some god sovereigns would feel a bit tense when meeting someone like Zhu Tian. This had nothing to do with age but was a natural reaction to his status, power, and realm. However, these issues were not a problem for Lin Moyu. In the small world, Lin Moyu was already at the peak of the world. He had always interacted with beings like Antares, respecting the strong but not fearing them. When he first entered the great world, he had already encountered god sovereigns and remained neither humble nor arrogant. Xiaoming, now relaxed, said to Lin Moyu, "Follow me." She turned and walked into the palace, with Lin Moyu following behind. Xiaoming's height and figure were very similar to Ning Yi's, making Lin Moyu look at her a few more times. Memories surged in his mind, recalling the happy moments of his past life and missing his wife. Xiaoming felt a pair of eyes constantly on her, the gaze intense as if trying to see through her. Feeling displeased, she suddenly turned and snapped at Lin Moyu, "Can you stop looking at me like that?" Lin Moyu's thoughts were interrupted, and the images in his mind shattered. He smiled bitterly, "Sorry, I was reminded of some past events." Xiaoming didn't believe him at all. "Are you trying to say that my appearance reminds you of an ex-girlfriend?" Lin Moyu shook his head. "Not an ex-girlfriend, a wife." "Xiaoming, you resemble one of my wives." Xiaoming was taken aback. "Wives? You have multiple wives?" Her tone carried a hint of disdain, clearly disapproving of Lin Moyu having multiple wives. Although such things were normal in the great world, with strong individuals often having several or even dozens of wives, most young women didn't like it. Lin Moyu put his thoughts aside. "Let's not talk about the past. Please continue to lead the way, Xiaoming." Xiaoming glanced at Lin Moyu a few more times before turning and continuing forward, muttering under her breath, "He looks decent, but he's so fickle." Lin Moyu chuckled. It seems Xiaoming has high standards for her beloved. Xiaoming's face turned red, and she pouted, "None of your business." Lin Moyu smiled and said nothing more, but Xiaoming couldn't hold back and muttered to herself, "My beloved is young and promising, not someone ordinary can compare to." Xiaoming had a dreamy look, clearly thinking of her ideal partner. In her mind, her beloved was the best. Lin Moyu sincerely congratulated her. "I hope you and your beloved will be together." After a few more words, Xiaoming seemed to have a better impression of Lin Moyu. Young girls were like the weather in March, changing quickly. Xiaoming sighed. "Unfortunately, I've never met him. But it's okay, I'll see him at the 4-star domain competition." Hearing this, Lin Moyu couldn't help but exclaim, "You've never met him, yet you're so determined to marry him?" It turned out to be unrequited love. Lin Moyu finally understood. "Xiaoming, you've never met him. What if he has someone else in his heart or is already married?" "Don't jinx it," Xiaoming immediately retorted. "He's only 35, no, 36 years old, and already a god king. Someone like him, focused on cultivation, couldn't have settled down so quickly. I've researched his background. When he came to the great world from the small world, he was alone, so he couldn't have a family. People who have seen him say he's very handsome, a young hero, likely to be the second war god." Lin Moyu was stunned. After all this, Xiaoming's beloved was himself. Xiaoming's face turned red. "You should have guessed who I'm talking about by now." Lin Moyu nodded. "It should be Lin Moyu." Xiaoming jumped up in excitement. Yes, it's him. He's from the Vermilion Bird Star domain. Why didn't Domain Lord Zhu make him a seed contestant? It's so strange. If he could come here, I could meet him first, develop feelings, and avoid competing with so many people. Xiaoming continued to talk to herself, lost in her thoughts. Finally, they reached the deepest part of the palace. Xiaoming activated a formation and signaled Lin Moyu to step on it. The formation activated, connecting to the Human Emperor network. All of Lin Moyu's information was then displayed before Xiaoming.